We were taught that by white supremacy. White people put it in the Bible that it was bad to be gay. And then we went to church and the church told us it was bad to be gay. And that's why we hate you. We weren't like that before the fucking white man came along. We didn't look at gay people like that before the white man came along. We respected you as oracles and we called you gatekeepers and oracles. You were special in our community. We never looked at you like that in indigenous times. We only looked at you like that after Europeans came along and said that it was defiled. They said in the Bible it's wrong. We were too intelligent to do that.
The point is that when do we and you're pretty much agreeing with me when I say that it since you were opened into this, the wrong awakening. Now, wouldn't it be up to you? Because you're not responsible for the things that happen to you when you're younger, but you are responsible for how you choose to turn those around when you get older. Yet, am I correct? Before I continue,
right?
Okay. So, with that being said, as far as my main point is that we have to hold everyone accountable for not wanting to change the narrative when you get older, because I'm not going to give a 38-year-old man an excuse for being homophobic. I'm not going to give a 38-year-old man an excuse for toxic masculinity. All of that can be changed. Learned behaviors can be unlearned. So
now hold up. You have to understand one thing, brother. You got to understand one thing. Stop protecting black women and protect black men. I'm going to tell you why. If you really love black men, if you really love black women, you're going to protect black men. Because the moment we heal black men will uplift their woman. When we feel good about ourselves and we know who the fuck we are, we uplift our woman automatically because love starts with self. So if you want to protect the black woman, don't put the black man down. Don't keep putting the black man down. You got to rise him up. You got to let him know who he is. We have, for the black family, we have to uplift the black man. If you're going to save the black woman, you can't keep putting down the black man. You can't keep doing it. It makes no psychological sense. When you uplift the black man, you are uplifting the black woman, because once the man feels good about himself and can do for self, and the woman has to depend on him, he feels good in his essence, then that will spill over to his woman. But as long as he's neglected and not being able to be nothing but an entertainer, a rapper, a drug dealer, or be some kind of fucking white supremacist, let me tell you something. He will always be angry, and he will always put his woman down until he knows he's a king. And so we must uplift our black men and educate our black men of who they are and give them more opportunities for them to be great. The less opportunities we have, the more violence you're going to see, the more negativity you're going to see. And you can continue to talk about what goes on in the darkness all you want. But until we address who turned out the lights, then it doesn't matter. We're all sitting in a bucket like crabs and won't let each other rise. We must uplift the black man to uplift the black woman. Period. I don't want to hear no more attacks on the black man in my room, because I love the black woman so much that I love the black man, because he's the only one that needs to be lifted for our woman to get lifted. You ain't never going to lift the black woman putting the black man down, ever.
So I think, and to be clear, this is me trying to get an understanding. I'm not debating these points back and forth with you. I'm getting an understanding of how you guys think, because at the end of the conversation, regardless of, whether we agree or we disagree, we're both going to leave with a new understanding of each other, hopefully, because that's the goal of my conversation, at least. But with that being said, I think the only part that I'm confused on is when it comes to, we have to uplift the black man first in order for the black women to be uplifted. But wouldn't that cancel out the whole point of codependency? Because to be codependent, you have to depend on each other, right? So
you mean interdependent, not codependent, interdependent.
So we're not being codependent. We don't have to depend on each other.
Not codependent. You don't want to be codependent. You want to be interdependent.
Okay. So can you break that down for me?
Okay. To be codependent is can be completely dependent on somebody. You don't want to be codependent. It's not a good thing. You want to be interdependent. Look up the difference later on. So It's an order to all things. And someone just said that. That's funny. If we're going to the black families rising, the black community, the black people's rising starts with black men. It starts with black men.
Would you disagree
You
with
yourself-
someone that's saying, like, because I keep seeing a lot of people say that we need each other?
No, I didn't say we didn't need each other. That is interdependency. What I'm telling you is, it starts with the black man first. If you love black women, then you must uplift the black man. If you keep putting the black man down, in return, the black man will continue to put the black woman down, because that's how he feels about himself. And you're making him feel like that. But if you uplift the black man and you fill him with love, then he will love his woman, because that's his counterpart. And all black men love their woman.
But could you understand why a person like me may have a bit of difficulty understanding it? And like I said, I'm retaining everything, but I'm saying another person that, a gay person or someone of my community might have an issue understanding what you're saying or taking what you're saying, because when we were at our lowest, black women were the ones. Listen, in my community, I'm more rejected by black men than I am black women. Now, I know you were talking about, black men being demasculated and things like that, but that's why I think that more LGBT people cling to black women. Of course, I'm going to protect my black women because they were the ones that protected me. You know what I mean? At least that's
I'm gonna tell you why you protect black women. I'm gonna tell you why you protect black women. Because gay people are sitting here to protect black women. I'm gonna tell you why. This is what homosexuality spirit is. The homosexuality spirit has come. If it's a male, it's come to protect the black woman. If it's a female, if she's a lesbian, it becomes to protect the black man. Now, I will tell you why. Epigenetically, when a woman is subjected to a society that there's an imbalance between a male and female, right? Whether that was between you and mom and dad, whatever, it produces a homosexual child. Yo, somebody got a TV on or something? Like, I'm about to drop a gem right now. Who's watching the TV?
I think that's.
I'm gonna mute everybody. Fuck it.
Yeah. It's 7, I think.
You guys gotta stay in the cameras, guys. All right, listen up. Whenever the woman is subjected to an imbalance between justice as far as rights between the woman and man, she will produce epigenetically. It's called the woman-loving gene. And this gene will create a homosexual child. So basically, when a woman is pregnant, her child there's a methylation process in genetics, where when a baby is being formed in the womb, it is subjected to what the mother is subjected to. And the genes that are selected will be determined by what the mother is subjected to in the environment she's in. So if there's neglection toward the woman, if there's hardship on women, then the baby usually takes on the genetics that will be able to advance or help the family out. This is just epigenetics 101. So the homosexual spirit comes along when there's an imbalance between masculine and feminine. So you come as a two-spirited being. So although you are male, you come with understanding the spirit and the anatomy of the feminine energy, and you come to bring balance between masculine and feminine energy. Okay, that's what the homosexual energy is for. It's to bring balance between the masculine and feminine energy. So now, this is why homosexual people have a higher IQ, because they're way more intelligent, because they're come to bring balance. And this is what nature does. Nature always tries to create balance in epigenetics and evolution. And so that things, the equilibrium of things, it always tries to create balance. So when there's a imbalance between the masculine and feminine energy in a society or a community, then you are invoking homosexual people to come, the homosexual spirit to come out. And people don't realize this. And this is something that we knew in ancient times, that the homosexual spirit was always a sign that there was a woman, the men were being treated wrong, or the women were being treated wrong. Because the spirit came to give good ideas and political ideas so that women have equal rights and better rights. And with the men, they would rise in power very quickly. And they would have influence on laws and legislations that would influence laws that the female would be treated a little more fair in the circumstance for the survival of the human race. So homosexuality is not just based on sexuality. This spirit of homosexuals coming in is a reason. There's a metaphysical reason for why a man would have a female spirit. Because the man is able to bring balance amongst the men and ideas, and they have a compassion for women that men might not have in that time and space, to bring balance for women's rights. And that's what the homosexual spirit's all about, outside of how we reduce the homosexual just to sexuality. The actual spirit of the male or the female is to bring balance between the sexes, the genders, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why you're here to defend Black women, because you have compassion for Black women because you embody the spirit of a woman, and so you have this compassion for women. And you get this is why you're attracted to men, because you see through the eyes of a woman. You're supposed to see through the eyes of a woman so that you can have compassion and understanding, because the other men, they can't see through the eyes of the woman and have the compassion. And there's been an imbalance between the sexes. But when you come along, you're able to see from the vision and make both sides of the stories. You're able to see. This is why they call you two-spirited beings. You're able to see the male's perspective and the female's perspective, but also have compassion on both sides and come up with ideas in the society that helps bring balance for the evolution and survival of our species.
You know what? I definitely appreciate. I never really. This is why I like that the person that I am, me being a fair and just person, and listening to different aspects of creation, of life, and things like that, because I can respect them. I've never really heard anybody really speak of my community so highly in that way, so I respect that. And to address
this is how we thought before white supremacy. White supremacy made us think like that, but we never thought like that. You're talking to a God. I know who you are. I know what you're sent for. I know what you are. They reduced you to sexuality. They reduced homosexuals. This is why they call you homosexuals. You're not homosexual. What the fuck? How you gonna just reduce somebody to their sexuality? That's like saying, yo, you're heterosexual. No. You reduced me to my sexuality. I'm a spiritual being. I have a metaphysical reason for being here. We don't know the metaphysical reason because we don't care about it. We just think that it's nasty that two men are together. No, they don't understand it. And I break this down. And I speak the truth. And the thing about the truth, when you hear it, it hits you different because it's truth and it's science. So I want you to know that I understand why you stick up for Black women. But I also want to bring balance to your own purpose as well, is to be compassionate with Black men as well.
I am compassionate with men, I would like to think. The only thing, as far as the conversation we were having today, I also am a heavy believer that, that we are our way out. Out of that cage that we're in, we are the way out, and we have to be able to build on each other. I think, like my point earlier that I hate so much is that sometimes it seems like Black men hate Black men more than anybody else hates us. That's just kind of what it seems like at times. That's why white people are able to say, that's why that narrative where they're like, we don't even have to kill them. They'll kill themselves. They'll kill each other. That narrative is pushed because it's not a lie. I don't know, but I respect everything that was said today. I'm taking it in. This is a good conversation. I haven't really heard this type of point of view before, so it's definitely respected. And I appreciate it, but I do have to go.
And Corey, and never forget that. And never forget, don't let people reduce you to your sexuality. Society has taken homosexual, they say homosexual, but we call them gatekeepers. They have taken the gatekeepers, the two-spirited beings, and reduced them to sexuality to limit your ability to really come into your purpose, because they are controlling your abilities. White supremacy is using your abilities to create art, music, movies, and everything they want you. They're harnessing your energy. We understand you. We know what the two-spirited beings. You were to us. You were sent by the gods to bring balance and order, and we are supposed to listen to you as oracles and your ideas for our survival. Because whenever you appeared, it meant that we were out of sync with each other as men and women. That's what it meant. So, always honor that and share that with the others, because they are also living in white supremacy as well. They're living in white supremacy and reduce themselves to sexuality. Never reduce yourself to sexuality, because that is only a part of who you are, and it's not your zenith.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful rest of your night.
I appreciate it, Corey. This is why I could never hate. I'm too intelligent to hate, quote unquote, gay people, or the gatekeepers, as we call them, gatekeepers, because I know the metaphysical reason for them being here, rather than just reducing them to their sexuality and judging them from that alone. That's not what I do, and I'm here to educate people beyond their ignorance of white supremacy, because we have a veil over our eyes that they put there, and only consciousness can make us more aware. Once we become aware, we can't fear. I don't fear because I'm aware. So homosexuals don't bother me. Anybody living in ignorance is going to bother me. Anybody living in their ignorance and white supremacy is going to bother me. If you are under the MK Ultra, me and you ain't going to get along. So I want him to know that, and I want him to understand, like I understand what they call homosexuality means on a metaphysical level. And, I keep telling them we the gods. And I want black men to know, you the greatest. We're the greatest. It begins with us. And as long as the black man has uplifted himself as God, what do you think he's going to feel like about his woman?